That night, a clear moon shone down on the camp of Salahuddin's army. It was exactly the right sort of night for sneaky tricks. Hamid and his father crept through the shadows like two cats on the prowl. Shh! Careful! Ow! At last, they stood under the tower in the castle walls, the one with the crack in it. Hamid had brought a knife with him, a ball of string, and a piece of chalk. His job was to measure the base of the tower while his father kept watch. Hamid stabbed his knife into the ground and tied one end of the string to it. Then he crept round to the other side of the tower, as quiet as a prowling cat, and marked the string with the chalk. He had just finished the job and gone back to fetch his knife, when Hamid felt something on his shoulder. It was the end of a homemade rope. Hamid looked up. There, sliding down the rope towards him, was a whap! Bang! Ow! It was a boy. One of those crusaders. Hamid went sprawling in the dust as the boy landed on top of him. Quick as a flash, Hamid's father reached out and caught the little crusader by the ankle and pulled him into the bushes. "Ow! Help! Help! We're under attack!" shouted a Frankish voice on the walls above. "Fetch the guard! Alert! Alert! We're being attacked!" The crusaders started shooting their bows and arrows as Hamid and his father dragged the boy, kicking and screaming, back into their camp. By the time they got there, the three of them were panting for breath. "Well done, Hamid. May Allah reward you," said the sergeant. "You've caught a spy. Guards, take him to the tent of the Sultan, right now." Salahuddin was woken immediately, and within minutes Salim of Mosul and Hamid were standing before him. The Frankish boy stood between them, with his hands tied behind his back. "My son caught this one, sir," said Salim of Mosul, "while we were out spying." "What's your name, O Frankish boy?" said the mighty Salahuddin. The little crusader said nothing. He stared at the carpet. "Perhaps you don't speak the Frankish language," said the Sultan. "Perhaps you're English." Again, the boy prisoner refused to speak. He stared back at Salahuddin with his lips shut tight. Captain Bulbul had heard the commotion and had come into the tent with his sharp sword ready for action. "It doesn't matter what language he speaks," he said. "If he's a crusader, he's our enemy." "No," said Hamid. "Please, sir, don't kill him. He's just a boy." Sultan Salahuddin turned his bright eyes straight at Hamid. "Captain Bulbul isn't going to hurt the Frankish boy," he said. "Must I remind you, Hamid, son of Salim, as Muslims we aren't allowed to kill the women and children of our enemies." "1,000 pardons, O noble Sultan," said Hamid. "Granted," said Salahuddin. "You're a brave boy and have done well. You're forgiven. This little spy may have useful information, if he can be persuaded to talk." Salahuddin called Hamid forward and whispered in his ear. "Young Hamid," he said, "stay close to this Frankish boy. Make him your friend. When he trusts you, he'll talk. If you're kind to your enemies, they can become your friends." Then Salahuddin called the guards and gave them his orders. "Take the Frankish boy to the big wagon where Salim of Mosul does his work. Hamid, you're responsible for this spy from now on. Watch him carefully. The safety of our army may be at stake." The guards took the boys away, and Salahuddin turned to Hamid's father. "You trained him well, O wise Salim. You must be proud of him. Allah will reward Hamid for his courage. But tell me, what did you find out tonight, when you and your son were sneaking about in the dark?" Salim of Mosul held up the ball of string that Hamid had brought back with him. "Sir, I think I've found the weak spot we've been looking for. This string measures the base of the tallest tower the Crusaders are building in their castle wall. There's a crack in that wall because it's sinking under its own weight. Now that I know the measurements, I can use mathematics to work out how far down we'll have to dig to get a tunnel under it." "Ah, a tunnel," said Salahuddin. "So that's your plan?" Salim of Mosul unrolled the map of the walls of Chastelet Castle. "Sir," he said, "that's just the beginning of my plan."